My dear students, it is a grammar class, and today our topic is change of voice, more particularly voice change. Voice change is changing a sentence from one voice to another. If a sentence is in the active voice, we have to change it into passive voice, and if a voice is in the passive voice, we have to change it into active voice. And today I am going to discuss a particular side of voice change. Apart from simple rules of voice change, there are some rules that we are less aware of. So let me start. Voice change. I know you. This is an active voice sentence because the indication of passive voice sentences are absent here. Indication of passive voice sentences are indication of passive voice sentences are any form of be verb plus V3. This is the indication of passive voice, but this is not so. There is no V3, there is no be verb, so this is active voice sentence, and we have to change it. And here this is exceptional or particular because we know that in the passive voice sentences, subject is changed into objective form, and usually the word by is used. This is this common rule. Subjective form in the active voice is changed into objective form in the passive voice, and a simple word by is usually used, but in this sentence by will not be used, and the answer will be you are known to me. This is the exception. This is be verb, this is V3, and this is to. Instead of by, we have to use to because by is not suitable or appropriate preposition here. So in such cases, we have to use suitable or appropriate preposition, not by. Usually by is used in passive voice sentence, but in some cases we have to keep in mind the appropriateness of the preposition. And in the similar way, your behavior satisfies me. This sentence will be changed into passive voice, and this satisfied will be followed by with. So the answer will be I was. I was satisfied with your behavior. So here with is used. Instead of by, with is used because with is the appropriate preposition. In some cases, in a very few cases, this rule is applicable. Usually by is used in active passive voice sentences, but sometimes we have to replace by with some other preposition, as for example, known to, satisfied with, displeased with, surprised at. These prepositions will be used instead of by. This is one exceptional rule. Second, I saw the feeding of the baby. I saw the feeding of the baby. This is another sentence of particular type. While using changing voice or doing the change of voice, we have to face such sentences. I saw the feeding of the baby. I saw the feeding of the baby. Here we find that this is a verbal noun form. A participle may be called, or a gerund, the feeding of the baby. And in this case, when we will go to change voice, the answer will be I saw the baby being fed. I saw the baby being fed. I saw the feeding of the baby means I saw the baby being fed. And in such cases, this being must be used, and this is V3. I heard the shouting of the beggar. I heard the shouting of the beggar. and this the answer will be I heard the beggar being shouted. This type of being shouted, being killed, this type of use must be maintained. And third one, while using phrasal verb, we have to give justice to the preposition with phrasal verb. You laugh at the girl. Here preposition this one is you laugh at the girl, and the preposition that is attached with this one, and this is called phrasal verb. And while changing the voice from active to passive, we have to give justice to it because it is very important. And the change must be the girl is laughed at by you. We should never omit this one. When there is a preposition with any verb, that is called group verb or phrasal verb, while changing it into passive voice, we have to keep this phrasal verb intact. Only the verb part will be in the V3 form. V3, only the verb will be in the V3 form because it is passive. Now this is the third rule. Number 4. Number 4 is quasipassive. Some transitive verbs in active voice looks like passive one, that is called quasipassive, like look, read, test, fail. These verbs look like active and somewhat passive. Even if they are in the active form, they sometimes behave like passive voice form. That's why they are called quasi-passive, means not fully passive. And sentence like this, you look disappointed. Number 4, you look disappointed. And when you will change this into passive one, you have to write you are disappointed when looked at